Good morning everyone. We have started the chapter Simple Machines in the previous week and we were discussing about the types of simple machine. Today we will start the first simple machine, that is lever. Here you can see a picture. A boy is trying to lift a heavy stone using a rod. Here we can say a lever is a straight, rigid rod that can move freely about a fixed point. In this picture you can see this is the fixed point. That we can call it as fulcrum. The heavy stone we can call load, and the force applied by this boy we can call it as effort. Lever is a straight, rigid rod that can move freely about a fixed point. It is used to move or to lift the object by changing the magnitude of the object or the direction of the force applied. I'll say once again about load, fulcrum and effort. Fulcrum is the fixed point at which the lever rests. Load is the object that has to be lifted. Then effort. What is the effort? The force applied on the lever, that we call it as effort. So these terms should be thorough in your mind. Now we can study another new terms, that is load arm and effort arm. What is effort arm? The length between fulcrum and the effort applied, we call it as effort arm. Okay, then the length between fulcrum and the load, we call it as load arm. So that I can draw like this. Here you can see this is the fulcrum and the length of the rod between the fulcrum and effort applied, we call it as effort arm. So this distance or this length of the rod we can call effort arm. Same way on the other side, here that is the load. Okay, so the length of the rod between the fulcrum and the load, we can call it as load arm. Okay, so we have studied what is load, fulcrum, effort, load arm and effort arm. Is it clear, children? So in page number 45 it is defined clearly. Please take. The object that has to be lifted, we call it as load. We are representing load as capital letter L. Then the force applied on the lever is called the effort, capital letter E. We are using to denote effort as capital letter E. The fixed point at which the lever rests, that point we call it as fulcrum. It is represented as capital letter F. Now, the length of the lever between the fulcrum and the point at which the load acts, we call it as load arm. So this point and load. This distance or length of the rod, we call it as load arm. Then on the other side, the length of the lever between the fulcrum and the point at which the effort is applied is called effort arm. So examples we can say seesaw. You have seen that, right? Then a nutcracker are the examples of lever. Now we will study principle of lever. All of you have to note down these all points as a lecture note in your notebook. Now write the next heading. Principle of lever. How a lever works. There is an equation. A lever works on a principle that at equilibrium, that is the product of load and load arm equal to product of effort and effort arm. That we can write it as an equation. Product, you know that what is a product? Product means you have to multiply that. So, load into load arm is equal to effort into effort arm. That is the equation of principle of lever. This we can rewrite it as load by effort is equal to effort arm by load arm. So when you check the equation, you can see that load into load arm equal to effort into effort arm. Now we are writing here, keeping the load as here itself and take this effort to this side. So multiplication will become divided by. So load by effort. The ratio between load and effort is equal to, how will we find effort arm divided by load arm. So these equations are very important. You should write these all equations in your notebook. Here I have said the ratio between load and effort. The ratio between load and effort we can say mechanical advantage. Mechanical advantage. So I can write mechanical advantage or MA equal to load by effort. Load by effort. So what is a mechanical advantage? Ratio between load and effort we can call it as mechanical advantage, and that is equal to load by effort. Here load and effort we can express in Newton. Newton we will represent it as capital letter N. Do you remember? I have told you in the previous classes. Newton we will express it as capital letter N. Here effort arm and load arm we can express in meter or other units of length. So load and effort we will express in Newton. Effort arm and load arm we will express in any units of length. Now, what is the unit of mechanical advantage of that machine? There is no unit for mechanical advantage of that machine because that is the ratio between load and effort. So, ratio we will find using the same unit. Okay, so there is no unit for mechanical advantage. We can calculate it using the same units. Is that clear, children? By doing the problem, you will be understanding more thoroughly about this equation and where we have to use the equation and all. Okay, so all of you have to write these all equations in your notebook and we will do some problems based on these equations. Next, we are going to discuss about types of levers. There are three types of levers, that is class 1 lever, class 2 and class 3. How this is classified? According to the position of fulcrum, effort and the load. So we can discuss what is class 1 lever. Children, you can see on the board three pictures. First one is a pair of scissors. Second one a bottle opener and third one is broom. These pictures should be remember always to study class 1, 2, 3 levers. So here first we can discuss what is class 1 lever. Here you can see a pair of scissors. we will apply a force on this side, right? So here it will be effort. We are applying force, that we call it as effort. So here is the effort, and the point, that we call it as fulcrum, right? Then load will be at this end. So in class 1 lever, the position of load, fulcrum and effort is like this format, that is fulcrum will be in between load and effort. Did you understand? So in class 1 lever, fulcrum is between the load and the effort. Different examples of class 1 lever are seesaw, beam balance, hand pump, claw hammer, crowbar, etc. Okay, so come to the next point, that is class 2 lever. Here you can see a bottle opener. In the bottle opener, you can see that fulcrum is on this end. We need to open the lid of the bottle. So force will be at this end, load will be on the lid of the bottle, and effort will be on the hand. Okay, so here you can see I have marked it, effort as E, load as L and fulcrum as F. So in class 2 lever, load lies between the effort and the fulcrum. Load lies between the effort and the fulcrum. Is that clear, children? Examples of class 2 lever are nutcracker and wheelbarrow. Okay. Now come to class 3 lever. You can see the positions. Here it is a broom. You can see F, E and L. So load will be at this point, effort will be at this point, and the fulcrum will be in the end. So in the class 3 lever, effort will be, or the position of effort will be in between fulcrum and load. Okay, so class 3 lever, effort will be in the middle between fulcrum and load. Class 2, load will be in between fulcrum and effort. Then class 1 lever, fulcrum will be in between load and effort. Examples of class 3 levers are tweezers, sugar tuck and fishing rod. So today we have discussed what is lever and different types of lever and principle of lever and some word problems also. So all of you have to submit your physics notebook by writing these all points. No need to draw these and all. You just write it as a lecture note and submit it through Google Classroom. Children, all of you write this question, example 4 in page number 48. A construction worker uses a board and a small stone used as fulcrum as a class 1 lever to lift a heavy rock. If the effort arm is 3 meter long and the load arm is 0.7 meter long, what is the mechanical advantage of the lever? So here you can see a rod, that is the lever, and the small stone is considering it as a fulcrum. Okay, then this is the load. He is trying to lift this heavy load. Okay, then here in the question they are saying effort arm. Effort arm means the length of the rod between the fulcrum and the effort. So here he is applying force. So this distance is given it as 3 meter. And the load arm means the distance between this fulcrum and the load. Okay, so the small distance that is given it as 0.75 meter. What is the mechanical advantage of this lever? So we are going to find out the mechanical advantage. What was the equation for mechanical advantage? We can write mechanical advantage is equal to load by effort, or we can write mechanical advantage is equal to effort arm by load arm. Okay, so in this question they have given effort arm and load arm. What is the effort arm in this question? Effort arm is 3 meter. Okay, then load arm is 0.75 meter. Both are in meters. So we can write effort arm by load arm. Effort arm equal to 3 meter and load arm equal to 0.75 meter. Now we are dividing a whole number with a decimal number. When you divide whole number with a decimal number, we have to multiply the number of decimal place. Here how many decimal place? 1, 2. After the decimal point, 2 digits are there. So we should multiply that with the 100. Denominator and numerator we should multiply with the 100. So we will get 300. 3 into 100, 300. 0.75 into 100 you will get 75. Okay, we have removed the decimal point by multiplying with 100. Now 300 you can divide with the 75. We can cancel. Here in 75, how many 25s are there? 3 25s are there. In 30, how many 25? 1 25. Then balance 5. In 50, how many 25? 2 25s are there. Now we got 12 and 3. That also we can cancel. In 3, 1 3. In 12, 4 3s are there. So we got 4 by 1. So the MA or mechanical advantage of the lever is 4. There is no unit because mechanical advantage is a ratio. Okay, if the mechanical advantage, please put a star and write there. If the mechanical advantage is greater than 1, greater than 1, we can say less effort is needed. Less effort is needed. Suppose if you get mechanical advantage is less than 1, 0.5, 0.9 like that, less than 1 if you get, that means you need to apply more force or you need to effort more to overcome the load. So that also we can write if MA is less than 1, high effort is needed. Okay. So all of you write this in your notebook. Very important. Calculations, everything. Okay. Now all of you write the question. Example 5 in page number 49. Yogendra held the handles of a wheelbarrow. What is a wheelbarrow? This is the wheelbarrow. Okay. 2.4 meter from where they were attached to the wheel. Okay. The heavy stone placed in the wheelbarrow was 1.2 meter from the wheel. So, wheel is the fulcrum there. Okay. You can see here this is the wheelbarrow, then this is the fulcrum. So the distance between the fulcrum and the effort, that is the effort arm, that is given in the question, and the distance between the fulcrum and the load, that we call it as load arm, that also given in the question. Okay, so here wheelbarrow was 1.2 meter from the wheel. Okay, calculate mechanical advantage of the wheelbarrow. Same method only, mechanical advantage is equal to effort arm by load arm. In this question, they didn't give it as effort arm and load arm directly. They have said as in the sentence. The distance between the wheel and the handles, or the distance between the wheel and the stone, that they have given as in the sentence. They didn't give it as directly. So we should understand that from the question what is given. Okay, so we can write MA, mechanical advantage, equal to, what was the equation? Load by effort, or we can say in this question effort arm is given. So effort arm by load arm. So effort arm is given 2.4 meter by 1.2 meter. Both numbers are decimal numbers. Here in the denominator you should multiply with 10 to remove the decimal, because after the decimal only one digit. So 2.4 divided by 1.2, multiply with 10. Numerator and denominator multiply with 10. So 1.2 into 10, 12. 2.4 into 10, 24. Now you got 24 by 12. 24 is double of 12 now. So we can cancel 2 times. 2 by 1 you will get. So our mechanical advantage of the wheelbarrow is 2. Is it greater than 1? Yes, it is greater than 1. So we need less effort to do the work. Okay, so we can write that since mechanical advantage is greater than 1, less effort is needed. Less effort is needed. We will do one more problem in this video. Next question. Example 6 from page number 50. Angela was raking leaves in her garden. She held the rake so that its input arm was 0.4 meter and its output arm was 1.0 meter. What is input arm and output arm? Output arm means load arm, output. Okay, we are trying to lift something, that is output, result. So we can say output arm, we can consider it as load arm. Input arm means we are applying force or we are taking effort to do that work. Okay, so that we can call it as input arm. Suppose in the question if they are saying input and output arm, you should understand that what is input and what is output arm. Okay, what is the mechanical advantage of the rake? So we will do that. We can write in the notebook, input arm means, what is input arm? Effort arm. And output arm is load arm. What we have to find? Mechanical advantage. So mechanical advantage is equal to effort arm by load arm. What is effort arm in this question? Effort arm means input arm. What is the input arm given in this question? That is 0.4 meter and load arm given 1.0 meter. Okay, so effort arm is equal to 0.4 by 1.0. 1.0 means 1 itself. Okay, 1.0 means 1 itself. So, any number divided with 1. 5 divided by 1, 5. 3 divided by 1, 3. Same way, 0.4 divided by 1, 0.4 itself. So, our MA or mechanical advantage is 0.4, which is less than 1. Less than 1. Here MA is less than 1. Therefore, she need to apply more effort. Did you understand? Here 0.4. If it is more than 1, we can say less effort is needed. Here less than 1. So, more effort is needed. Did you understand, children? In the coming classes, we will discuss more questions from the exercise and it will be thorough for you. Okay, children? So, thank you and complete your notebook and submit it to the Google Classroom.